With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the center ground.
Most royal decisions are announced with ceremony, tradition, and carefully prepared statements. Yet according to reports, one of the most consequential decisions associated with King Charles III may have happened in complete silence, behind closed doors, without public discussion, and without immediate explanation. The question is simple: what was so important that secrecy became necessary? On a quiet June evening, while much of Britain slept and public attention remained fixed on ordinary headlines, reports began circulating about an extraordinary development unfolding far from television cameras and public view. According to claims discussed by royal commentators, King Charles III had allegedly authorized a highly unusual internal arrangement involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, a move that immediately sparked questions about authority, succession, stability, and the future direction of the royal family. What made the story so compelling was not simply the suggestion of increased responsibility for Catherine, Princess of Wales. After all, Catherine has spent years becoming one of the monarchy's most trusted and admired figures. The real mystery centered on timing. Why now? Why would King Charles III reportedly feel compelled to take such a significant step during a period already filled with public scrutiny and institutional challenges? And perhaps even more importantly, what was happening behind palace walls that ordinary observers were not seeing? That question would soon become the center of an increasingly fascinating conversation. According to the narrative that emerged, Windsor Castle became the setting for a remarkably private moment. There were no photographers documenting the event. There was no public schedule indicating anything unusual. There were no official announcements preparing the public for a major constitutional discussion. Instead, the image presented by commentators was one of silence, caution, and deliberation. A monarch sitting alone, considering not merely the demands of the present, but the long-term survival of an institution that has endured for centuries. For viewers who have followed the royal family for decades, this immediately raises another intriguing question. Could this have been less about power and more about preparation? Because throughout royal history, the most important decisions have often been made long before the public understood why they mattered. Consider how many major transitions within the monarchy appeared routine at first, only for historians years later to recognize their deeper significance. What seemed ordinary on the surface often concealed larger strategic thinking underneath. Some royal watchers believe the situation may fit that pattern precisely. If that interpretation is correct, then the discussion is no longer simply about Catherine, Princess of Wales. The discussion becomes about the future itself. For years, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has cultivated an image remarkably different from many public figures operating under constant scrutiny. Rather than seeking headlines, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has generally built influence through consistency, discipline, and an ability to maintain public confidence even during difficult periods. While media attention frequently shifts between controversies, disputes, and dramatic developments, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has often been viewed as a stabilizing presence within the institution. That reputation did not emerge overnight. It developed gradually through public engagements, charitable initiatives, family responsibilities, and a style of leadership that many observers describe as calm rather than confrontational. Could that reputation explain why King Charles III reportedly placed such extraordinary trust in Catherine, Princess of Wales? Or was there an even deeper reason behind the decision? The answer may lie in the challenges currently facing the monarchy itself. The modern royal family operates in a vastly different environment from the one previous generations experienced. Every appearance is analyzed instantly. Every statement is dissected across television, newspapers, and social media. Public expectations evolve constantly, while criticism can emerge from multiple directions simultaneously. Maintaining stability under those conditions is not simply difficult. It requires individuals capable of absorbing enormous pressure without allowing that pressure to destabilize the institution they represent. Many royal commentators argue that Catherine, Princess of Wales, has repeatedly demonstrated precisely that quality. Yet even that explanation leaves another question unanswered. Why would King Charles III reportedly choose secrecy rather than transparency? After all, Buckingham Palace traditionally understands the value of carefully controlled public communication. When significant developments occur, official channels are usually employed to shape understanding and prevent confusion. So why would the situation reportedly unfold behind closed doors? Some observers believe the answer lies in the nature of strategic planning itself. Not every decision is intended for immediate public consumption. Some decisions are designed to create stability before instability appears. Some preparations are made not because a crisis has arrived, but because responsible leadership anticipates the possibility of future challenges. If that interpretation proves accurate, then the alleged decision becomes far more significant than many initially realized. Instead of reacting to events, King Charles III may have been preparing for them. And that possibility introduces a much larger issue. Because if Catherine, Princess of Wales, is increasingly being positioned as a central pillar of the monarchy's future, what does that reveal about how King Charles III views the years ahead? What responsibilities could eventually await Prince William, the future king? And could this reported shift signal the beginning of an entirely new chapter for the royal family, one that is already taking shape behind palace walls long before the public fully understands its significance? Before we explore that question, take a moment to share your thoughts below. Do you believe King Charles III is simply strengthening the monarchy for the future, or do you think there may be a deeper reason behind this reported move involving Catherine, Princess of Wales? And if you enjoy thoughtful royal analysis and documentary-style discussions, be sure to subscribe, because the next part of the story raises even bigger questions about trust, succession, and the future of the crown itself. As speculation surrounding the reported decision continued to spread, attention gradually shifted away from the document itself and towards something arguably even more important. Royal observers began asking a different question, one that reached far beyond any alleged transfer of authority. If King Charles III truly wanted to strengthen the monarchy during a period of uncertainty, why was Catherine, Princess of Wales, the person entrusted with such extraordinary confidence? Why not another senior royal? Why not a formal council of advisors? Why place so much faith in one individual? The answer, according to many royal commentators, may have little to do with titles and everything to do with trust. For more than a decade, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has occupied a unique position within the royal family. Unlike many public figures whose reputations rise and fall through controversy, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has built influence through consistency. While headlines often focused on political debates, royal disagreements, or public controversies involving other members of the royal family, Kate Middleton quietly established a reputation for discipline, reliability, and careful judgment. That distinction may sound simple, but within an institution that depends on stability, consistency can become one of the most valuable qualities of all. Think about it for a moment. When Buckingham Palace evaluates the future of the monarchy, what matters more, charisma or reliability? Popularity or endurance? Public attention or long-term trust? Many royal watchers believe King Charles III already had an answer to those questions. Over recent years, Catherine, Princess of Wales, repeatedly demonstrated an ability to navigate difficult circumstances without creating additional instability. Whether appearing at major state occasions, supporting Prince William, the future king, during important engagements, or managing periods of intense media scrutiny, Catherine, Princess of Wales, consistently projected calm during moments when uncertainty could easily have dominated public discussion. Yet there may be another reason why King Charles III reportedly developed such confidence in Catherine, Princess of Wales. That reason involves shared experience. Both King Charles III and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have faced significant personal health challenges while simultaneously carrying enormous public responsibilities. Although their circumstances were different, both figures experienced periods during which public attention became intensely focused on their personal well-being. Those experiences appear to have created a deeper understanding between King Charles III and Catherine, Princess of Wales, one built not merely on royal protocol but on resilience under pressure. According to commentators who closely follow palace affairs, conversations between King Charles III and Catherine, Princess of Wales, increasingly centered on long-term questions facing the monarchy rather than short-term public relations concerns. What kind of institution should Prince William eventually inherit? How can public confidence be maintained in an era of constant scrutiny? What must change for the monarchy to remain relevant while still preserving tradition? Those are not ceremonial questions. Those are survival questions. And that observation leads directly into another fascinating aspect of the story. Because when many people discuss Catherine, Princess of Wales, they often focus on public appearances. However, royal insiders frequently point to work conducted away from cameras. Through initiatives focused on early childhood development, mental health awareness, and long-term community engagement, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has spent years developing projects designed to create lasting impact rather than temporary headlines. The Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood became one of the clearest examples of that approach. Rather than pursuing short-term visibility, Catherine, Princess of Wales, invested years into developing a project intended to influence future generations. That type of thinking mirrors the mindset often associated with institutions that measure success not in weeks or months but in decades. Could that long-term perspective be one of the qualities King Charles III values most? Many observers believe so. After all, monarchies survive by thinking beyond immediate circumstances. Political leaders often focus on election cycles. Businesses often focus on quarterly results. But royal institutions traditionally think in generations. And if Catherine, Princess of Wales, increasingly demonstrates that same long-term mindset, the reported trust begins to make more sense. Still, another question remains unresolved. What makes Catherine, Princess of Wales, different from other individuals who married into the royal family? This is where the discussion becomes especially interesting. Throughout modern royal history, different members of the royal family have responded to pressure in dramatically different ways. Some challenged institutional expectations. Some struggled to adapt. Some ultimately chose to leave royal life behind altogether. Every situation was unique, and every individual faced distinct circumstances. Yet many royal commentators argue that Catherine, Princess of Wales, followed a different path entirely. Rather than attempting to reshape the institution around herself, Catherine, Princess of Wales, gradually learned how the institution functioned. Rather than positioning herself against tradition, Catherine, Princess of Wales, worked within existing structures while quietly modernizing aspects of royal engagement. Instead of becoming defined by conflict, Catherine, Princess of Wales, became associated with continuity. That distinction may be more significant than many people realize. Because if King Charles III truly believes the monarchy faces a period of transition, then continuity becomes incredibly valuable. But here is where the story takes another unexpected turn. Even if Catherine, Princess of Wales, enjoys enormous respect from both the public and senior royal figures, concentrating responsibility around a smaller group of trusted individuals inevitably creates new challenges. Every major institutional shift produces supporters and critics. Every strategic decision creates questions about what comes next. Could Prince William, the future king, eventually rely on an even smaller inner circle than previous monarchs? Could the royal household be quietly preparing for a more streamlined monarchy? And if Catherine, Princess of Wales, is increasingly viewed as a central pillar of stability, what role might Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, play in public discussions about the monarchy's future moving forward? Those questions would soon push the story into even more fascinating territory. Before we continue, share your thoughts below. Do you believe Catherine, Princess of Wales, earned King Charles III trust through years of consistent service? Or do you think there is another reason behind the remarkable confidence reportedly placed in the Princess of Wales? And if you are enjoying this deep dive into the future of the royal family, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next part explores how changing royal dynamics, shrinking numbers of working royals, and growing pressure on Prince William could reshape the monarchy in ways few people expected. The more royal commentators examined the reported decision, the more one uncomfortable reality began to emerge. This story was no longer simply about Catherine, Princess of Wales, receiving additional trust from King Charles III. Instead, the discussion started exposing a much larger challenge facing the monarchy itself. Behind the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, behind the state ceremonies, royal tours, and centuries-old traditions, a practical problem was quietly developing. The royal family was becoming smaller at precisely the moment public expectations were becoming larger. That contradiction immediately raises an important question for viewers. Can a modern monarchy continue operating at the same level when fewer senior royals are available to carry its responsibilities? For decades, the institution relied upon a broad network of working royals who shared engagements, represented the crown across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, supported charitable organizations, and reinforced public visibility. Today, however, the landscape looks very different. Queen Camilla continues to perform extensive duties. King Charles III remains active despite ongoing health concerns. Prince William, the future king, carries an increasingly demanding schedule. Catherine, Princess of Wales, remains one of the monarchy's most recognizable and respected figures. Yet beyond those central names, the number of senior working royals is considerably smaller than many people realize. And that reality changes everything. Because institutions do not operate on symbolism alone. Institutions operate through people. Every appearance, every meeting, every state visit, every charity engagement requires individuals willing and able to represent the monarchy in public life. As responsibilities become concentrated among fewer figures, pressure inevitably increases. Could that be one reason King Charles III reportedly viewed Catherine, Princess of Wales, as indispensable? Many royal watchers believe it may be. After all, Catherine, Princess of Wales, occupies a uniquely powerful position within the modern royal family. Unlike King Charles III, Catherine, Princess of Wales, represents the future rather than the present. Unlike Prince William, the future king, Catherine, Princess of Wales, often attracts attention without becoming entangled in political discussions. Unlike many other public figures, Kate Middleton consistently maintains high approval ratings across multiple demographic groups. That combination is extraordinarily rare. But another fascinating dimension of the story soon emerged. Some commentators began asking whether the reported decision reflected not merely confidence in Catherine, Princess of Wales, but confidence in the future partnership between Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Throughout modern royal history, monarchies have often relied on powerful partnerships rather than isolated individuals. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip represented one example. Earlier generations produced similar partnerships that helped stabilize the institution during periods of uncertainty. Could King Charles III be preparing for a future in which Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, become the undisputed center of royal leadership? The possibility is difficult to ignore. Consider how frequently Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, are now discussed together as a team rather than as separate public figures. Public appearances, charitable initiatives, international engagements, and long-term projects increasingly emphasize collaboration. Many observers believe the monarchy's future image is already becoming closely tied to the partnership between Prince William, the future king, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. If that is true, then the reported trust takes on an entirely different meaning. Instead of elevating one individual, King Charles III may be strengthening the leadership structure of the next royal era. But that interpretation introduces yet another question. What happens when leadership becomes concentrated around a smaller number of key figures? Historically, concentrated influence creates both advantages and risks. On one hand, decision-making becomes clearer. Public messaging becomes more consistent. The institution gains recognizable leaders capable of representing stability. On the other hand, dependence on a limited number of individuals increases vulnerability. If those individuals face personal challenges, public criticism, or unforeseen circumstances, the effects can ripple across the entire institution. That is why some royal commentators view the reported move as both strategic and revealing. Strategic because Catherine, Princess of Wales, has repeatedly demonstrated reliability under pressure. Revealing because it suggests the monarchy may be quietly acknowledging just how essential certain individuals have become. And this is where another layer of the story begins to emerge. The departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, from frontline royal duties fundamentally alter the structure of the working royal family. Regardless of differing opinions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the reality remains that fewer senior royals now share the workload. The institution adapted, but adaptation often comes with consequences that are not immediately visible. Could the current concentration of responsibility be one of those consequences? Many observers believe the answer is yes. As public expectations continue evolving, King Charles III must balance tradition with practicality. Prince William, the future king, must prepare for eventual leadership while managing growing responsibilities in the present. Catherine, Princess of Wales, must maintain public confidence while supporting both current and future generations of royal leadership. That is an enormous burden for any institution. Yet perhaps the most intriguing question is still waiting to be answered. What if the reported decision was never primarily about emergency authority at all? What if the real purpose was symbolic? What if King Charles III wanted to send a message, not to the public, but to the institution itself, that Catherine, Princess of Wales, occupies a central role in the monarchy's long-term future? That possibility changes how the entire story is interpreted, because suddenly the focus shifts away from documents and procedures and towards something much more important: succession planning, institutional stability, and the preparation of a future royal era already beginning to take shape behind palace walls. So what do you think? Do you believe King Charles III is quietly building the foundation for the reign of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, or do you think there are still important details hidden from public view? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into the future of the royal family, be sure to subscribe and join our growing community, because the next chapter reveals why some royal observers believe this reported decision could trigger a historic transformation in how the monarchy operates during the years ahead. The deeper royal observers looked into the reported decision, the more the conversation began shifting away from Catherine, Princess of Wales herself, and towards something even more significant. What if the story was not primarily about who received trust from King Charles III, but about what King Charles III fears could happen if the monarchy fails to prepare for the future quickly enough? That question has become increasingly difficult to ignore. For generations, the strength of the British monarchy rested on a powerful assumption. No matter what challenges emerged, the institution would always have time to adapt, time to train future leaders, time to manage transitions, time to strengthen public confidence, time to respond to changing expectations. But what happens when time suddenly becomes the most valuable resource of all? Many royal commentators believe that question now sits at the center of every major decision being made inside Buckingham Palace. King Charles III inherited the throne during a period unlike any experienced by previous monarchs. Public expectations evolve rapidly. News cycles move faster than ever. Social media amplifies every controversy. Every public appearance is analyzed in real time by millions of people around the world. In that environment, preparation becomes more than strategy. Preparation becomes necessity. And this is where the reported trust placed in Catherine, Princess of Wales, begins to take on an entirely different meaning. Because if King Charles III truly views Catherine, Princess of Wales, as one of the monarchy's most dependable figures, then the reported move may represent more than confidence in an individual. The reported move may represent confidence in a future governing structure, one centered around Prince William, the future king, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, as a partnership capable of guiding the monarchy through decades of change. But can any royal partnership truly carry that level of responsibility? Consider the scale of what lies ahead. Prince William, the future king, is not simply preparing to inherit a title. Prince William is preparing to lead one of the most recognizable institutions on earth. Every decision made by Prince William will be examined internationally. Every challenge facing the monarchy will eventually become Prince William's responsibility. Every question about relevance, tradition, modernization, and public trust will ultimately land on the desk of Prince William. That reality alone would be daunting. Yet many royal watchers argue that Prince William possesses an advantage that previous heirs may not have enjoyed to the same extent. That advantage is Catherine, Princess of Wales. Over the years, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has developed a rare ability to connect different audiences simultaneously. Older royal supporters often appreciate Catherine, Princess of Wales, for respect toward tradition. Younger audiences frequently admire Catherine, Princess of Wales, for bringing a more modern image to royal life. International observers often view Kate Middleton as one of the most relatable figures within the royal family. That combination creates something extremely valuable: public trust. And public trust cannot be manufactured overnight, which leads directly into another fascinating question. If King Charles III is quietly helping position Catherine, Princess of Wales closer to the center of royal decision-making, what message does that send to the institution itself? Inside large organizations, symbolic decisions often matter as much as formal ones. When leaders consistently place confidence in certain individuals, everyone notices. Staff notice. Advisors notice. Senior figures notice. Over time, trust becomes influence, and influence gradually shapes the future direction of the organization. Could that process already be unfolding behind palace walls? Some royal commentators believe it could. According to that interpretation, the reported decision would not simply strengthen Catherine, Princess of Wales. The reported decision would signal to the broader royal household that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is expected to play a critical role in safeguarding continuity during future transitions. And transitions may arrive sooner than many people expect. Not because of crisis, not because of instability, but because history always moves forward. Every monarchy eventually enters a new chapter. Every generation eventually hands responsibility to the next. The real challenge is ensuring that transition feels seamless rather than disruptive. That challenge appears especially important when considering the broader royal landscape. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, remain subjects of intense public discussion despite stepping away from working royal duties years ago. Public fascination with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continues, generating headlines across the United Kingdom, the United States, and beyond. Meanwhile, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, increasingly represent the monarchy's future-facing image. Those parallel realities create an interesting contrast. One story reflects separation from the institution. The other story reflects deeper integration into the institution. And that contrast inevitably shapes how many people interpret the reported actions of King Charles III. Yet perhaps the most revealing aspect of all is this. Despite endless public discussion surrounding personalities, disagreements, and media narratives, King Charles III appears consistently focused on one priority above all others: institutional survival. Everything else may be secondary. If that assessment is accurate, then every reported decision involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, becomes easier to understand. The focus is not simply loyalty. The focus is continuity. The focus is ensuring that Prince William, the future king, eventually inherits a monarchy positioned for long-term stability rather than short-term uncertainty. But even that explanation leaves one final mystery unresolved. If Catherine, Princess of Wales, is becoming increasingly central to the monarchy's future strategy, how far could that role eventually expand? Could royal observers be witnessing the earliest stages of a historic transformation that will define the reign of Prince William long before Prince William officially becomes king? That possibility may be the most fascinating question of all. What do you think? Is King Charles III simply preparing responsibly for the future, or do you believe the reported confidence placed in Catherine, Princess of Wales, reveals a much larger plan already taking shape behind palace walls? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this royal deep dive, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the final chapter we will explore the biggest question yet: what this reported shift could ultimately mean for the future of the monarchy, the legacy of King Charles III, and the reign that Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, may one day inherit. As the story surrounding the reported decision reaches its final chapter, one question continues to linger over every discussion, every analysis, and every theory emerging from royal circles. What if the most important part of this entire story is not the alleged authority itself, but what the decision reveals about how King Charles III sees the future of the monarchy? Because when historians eventually look back on major turning points inside royal institutions, they rarely focus only on the paperwork. Instead, historians focus on what those decisions reveal about priorities, concerns, and long-term strategy. And that is precisely where the story becomes truly fascinating. According to royal commentators, the reported confidence placed in Catherine, Princess of Wales, may ultimately reflect something larger than trust in a single individual. The reported confidence may reflect trust in a generation. More specifically, trust in the future leadership team that many believe will eventually guide the monarchy through one of the most transformative periods in modern royal history. Prince William, the future king, stands closer to the throne today than ever before. Catherine, Princess of Wales occupies a position of influence that continues to grow through public respect rather than political authority. Together, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, increasingly represent continuity, stability, and the next chapter of royal leadership. But does public admiration automatically translate into institutional success? That question deserves serious consideration. History has repeatedly shown that popularity alone is not enough to sustain a monarchy. Institutions survive because they adapt. Institutions endure because leaders anticipate challenges before those challenges become crises. Institutions remain relevant because each generation finds a way to connect tradition with contemporary expectations. Many royal watchers believe Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, understand that reality better than most. Over the past several years, Prince William, the future king, has increasingly focused on initiatives connected to homelessness, environmental issues, and long-term social challenges. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has continued developing projects focused on early childhood development, mental health awareness, and community well-being. Viewed individually, these efforts appear significant. Viewed together, these efforts begin to resemble something larger, a vision for how the monarchy might engage with society in the decades ahead. Could that shared vision explain why King Charles III reportedly feels such confidence in Catherine, Princess of Wales? It is certainly possible. Yet even as Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, move toward the future, the monarchy remains connected to unresolved questions from the present. Discussions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, continue generating global attention. Debates about modernization, relevance, public funding, and constitutional roles remain active. Expectations from younger generations continue evolving in ways previous monarchs never had to confront. In other words, the future awaiting Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, will not be simple. The future will require balance, balancing tradition with modernization, balancing visibility with privacy, balancing public expectations with institutional responsibility, and perhaps most importantly, balancing continuity with change. That challenge helps explain why stories like this capture so much public attention. People are not merely interested in royal personalities. People are interested in what those personalities reveal about the future direction of one of the world's most recognizable institutions. Which brings us back to the mystery that started everything. If reports surrounding this alleged decision are accurate, then King Charles III may have quietly revealed more than intended. Not because of the authority reportedly granted, not because of palace procedure, not because of constitutional significance, but because of the individual chosen. The reported choice of Catherine, Princess of Wales, sends a message. Whether viewed as strategic planning, institutional preparation, symbolic confidence, or simple trust, the message remains remarkably consistent. King Charles III appears to view Catherine, Princess of Wales, as one of the most important figures in safeguarding the monarchy's future alongside Prince William, the future king. And that realization may ultimately be the most significant development of all. Because while headlines come and go, while controversies rise and fade, and while speculation inevitably changes with each news cycle, institutions often reveal their future through the people they trust most. So perhaps the real question was never whether Catherine, Princess of Wales, received extraordinary confidence from King Charles III. Perhaps the real question is what that confidence tells us about the monarchy that Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, may one day inherit. And now we would love to hear from you. Do you believe King Charles III is carefully preparing the monarchy for a smooth transition into the era of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales? Do you think Catherine, Princess of Wales, has earned this level of trust through years of steady service and dedication? Or do you believe there may be deeper factors influencing decisions taking place behind palace walls? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is far from over. And if you enjoyed this documentary-style royal analysis, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest coverage of King Charles III, Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the evolving future of the royal family. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious, because in the world of royalty, the most important stories are often the ones still unfolding.